All right, good evening. It's time for our nightly edition of Just the News. It's the weekend, so this is your weekend edition of everything that happened today in just about 10 minutes. And let's get started right now. The first phase of elections in Assam and West Bengal have begun today. Voting in the first phase took place today. Polling was held in 47 out of 126 constituencies in Assam and 30 out of 294 in West Bengal. The turnout until about 6 p.m. this evening, West Bengal recorded 79.79% voter turnout. That's excellent. And Assam registered a voter turnout of 72.16%. In the meantime, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Bangladesh is on its second day. India and Bangladesh have signed 5 MOUs or Memorandums of Understanding to further bilateral ties between the two countries in a meeting that the Prime Minister had with his Bangladeshi counterpart, Sheikh Hasina. The PM also paid tribute to Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founder of Bangladesh as a nation, by laying a wreath at the mausoleum. He also addressed the Matwa community in Bangladesh, saying India and Bangladesh both want to see peace, stability and love in the world. Now, according to a report by the Hindustan Times, the Prime Minister, as part of his visit, visited the Orakandi village to pay tribute to the founder of the Matwa community, Harichand Thakur. And in that meeting with members of the community, he said he feels the same emotions that the Matwa community members feel in India. He said, and I quote, "I was speaking to some people here. They were saying, who could have thought that the India's Prime Minister would visit Orakandi? I'm feeling the same emotions that my Matwa brothers and sisters in India feel coming to Orakandi," end quote. The West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, in the meantime, hit out at the Prime Minister, accusing him of violating the code of conduct of the elections by attempting to influence voters in West Bengal, where polling has already begun. Remember, West Bengal has a very large community of the Hindu Matwa community, people who migrated from Bangladesh to West Bengal over various points in the last 70 years of history. They've influenced, from what we understand, at least 25 constituencies in the election. The Mamata Banerjee has said elections are underway here, and the Prime Minister has gone to Bangladesh and he lectures on Bengal. This is a total violation of the Code of Conduct of Elections. She has also threatened to file a complaint with the Election Commission. This is according to news agency ANI. Moving on to updates on COVID right now, the CEO of the Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla, has said that his company will begin trials for a new vaccine called Covovax, a vaccine developed in partnership with American vaccine developer Novovax, which has currently begun in India. The vaccine could be launched as early as September this year. In a tweet, he said it has been tested against the African and the UK variants of COVID-19 and has an overall efficacy of 89%. Covovax will be Serum Institute's second vaccine for trials to have started in the country. Remember, Covishield is already really the bulk bearer of the vaccination process that's already begun in India, also from the Serum Institute of India. Taking a look at some of the numbers right now on COVID for India, according to official data, there are 6 states that have reported surges. Maharashtra, Punjab, Kerala, Karnataka, Chhattisgarh and Gujarat are showing prominent second waves of COVID. India reported 62,258 cases and 291 deaths in the last 24 hours. This is the highest single-day spike since October last year. Of this, Maharashtra accounted for 60% of those cases, reporting 36,902 cases. Now, in reaction to those numbers, the Maharashtra Chief Minister has extended COVID restrictions now till the 15th of April this year. Remember, yesterday we brought you information that there will be a night curfew, but we didn't have any of the real details. We have those details for you today. This is what it means. Gatherings of more than 5 people at a time in any place in the state of Maharashtra after 8 p.m. is forbidden. So that's 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. starting midnight on Sunday. A violation of the same rule will attract a penalty of 1,000 rupees. Also, public places like gardens, beaches, theatres, malls, auditoriums and restaurants will remain closed in the state of Maharashtra from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. starting midnight the 27th of March or Sunday. Anybody found without wearing a mask in public will be fined 500 rupees. Anyone found spitting in public will be fined 1,000 rupees. No social, religious or political gatherings will be allowed whatsoever. Not more than 50 people will be allowed at weddings at a time. Not more than 20 people will be allowed at funerals and last rites. Within containment zone, a list of contacts will be carried out to do contact tracing along with tracking, identifying and quarantining people for 14 days. That's the latest then from Maharashtra. In Delhi, 1,534 new cases in the last 24 hours, but the health minister says there's no possibility right now of a lockdown in Delhi. Speaking to ANI, he said, and I quote, "First, it was said that a 14-day cycle between infection and recovery. Experts have said if all activities close for 21 days, it won't spread. Lockdown was extended, but it didn't stop the spread. So I don't think a lockdown is a solution," end quote. In the meantime, the government has kept a 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. window for people in Delhi to get vaccinated without registration. In Jharkhand, celebrations of Holi, Ram Navami, Easter and Shab-e-Barat around the corner. They have issued advisories and banned processions and mass gatherings in public places for all of these upcoming festivals. It's also said places of worship will have to adhere to the latest SOPs issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. In other news, the President of India, Kovind, had complained of chest discomfort on Friday, that's yesterday. He's currently being taken care of or looked after at the Army Hospital. They've said that the President's condition is stable. We're also hearing reports now that he will undergo a bypass procedure at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences on Tuesday, the 30th of March. We wish him well. A special court on Friday acquitted former BJP leader Chinmayanand in the case of sexual harassment with a law student. Chinmayanand was accused of keeping the law student in captivity at Shahjahanpur and allegedly raping her. Acquitting him of all the charges, Special Judge P.K. Rai has said the prosecution couldn't prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. The court also noted that the victim student had also turned hostile as a witness during the trial. Remember, I'm just going to give you a recap of this case. This was back in 2019. The young woman initially had gone missing. She then uploaded videos on Facebook saying that Chinmayanand had been sexually harassing her and raping her and holding her against her will, and which is why she had run away from that hostel and that college. It was her father who then filed a complaint with the police about sexual harassment and rape. Her mobile phone was switched off for a while, and the father then filed a complaint of rape and harassment. Chinmayanand was later arrested in September 2019 and sent to jail. There was also a disturbing video that had been shot by this young woman with a hidden camera that showed Chinmayanand had asked her to massage him in states of various states of undress, and that video had gone viral as well. She had turned hostile during the trial and retracted most of her statement. He has now been acquitted of all charges and he is now a free man. The president of the Puducherry State Committee for Democratic Youth Federation of India, A.A. Anand, has filed a petition before the Madras High Court against the BJP, alleging that the party illegally used Aadhaar data of voters in Puducherry for political gains in the ongoing assembly elections. The petitioner has alleged that people were getting text messages or SMSs received only to mobile numbers that had been linked to Aadhaar cards. This raised questions, he said, about how the state BJP union had gained access to Aadhaar data of lakhs of voters. He also alleged that the BJP had created booth-level WhatsApp groups and were sending messages to target voters in various parts of Puducherry. After receiving similar messages, the petitioner himself questioned the group admin on how his contact number was accessed. Following this, the Madras High Court has asked the Election Commission to urgently look into the allegations. In Karnataka, former Water Resources Minister Ramesh, who had resigned from his position in connection to the Sex for Jobs case, has been named in an FIR by the Bangalore police. This comes after the woman who was seen in the video that went viral and was quite shockingly aired extensively by various Kannada news channels, has submitted a complaint through her advocate. In the complaint, the woman has alleged that Jarkiholi not only promised her a government job in exchange for sexual favors, she has also alleged that he leaked their video to the media to silence her. The police have filed an FIR against the former minister on sections including sexual harassment, criminal intimidation, cheating, intentional insult, sexual intercourse by a person of authority, and under the IT Act for publishing and transmitting material containing sexually explicit acts. Now remember, this is an FIR filed based on the statement. The investigation will now begin. The CBI on Wednesday registered a case against DHFL promoters Kapil and Dheeraj Wadhawan in connection to a scam linked to the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana scheme. Now, this is a scheme that provides loans for people in weaker sections of society to buy homes or to own homes. The PMAY scheme was announced in October 2015 and ensures that the aim of this scheme is housing for all. According to the CBI, Kapil and Dheeraj Wadhawan created fake and fictitious home loan accounts amounting to 14,000 crore rupees and availed of 1,880 crore rupees in interest subsidy from the Government of India. The CBI has said forensic audits have revealed both of the brothers had opened 2.6 lakh fake housing accounts, several of which are under the PMAY scheme, and claimed interest subsidy based on its rules from a fictitious Bandra branch of the organization. Between 2004 and 2019, loans amounting to 14,046 crore rupees were sanctioned through these accounts, the CBI alleges, of which 11,755 crore rupees were routed to other fictitious firms. Let's take a look at the world of business right now. According to Counterpoint Research, India's online smartphone market has reached its highest ever penetration of 45% in the pandemic year of 2020. The growth of 7% was registered in just 1 year. Flipkart has emerged with the highest market share of 48% among online platforms, followed by Amazon with 44%. Among the brands, Xiaomi led with 40% market share, followed by Samsung with 19%. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, while addressing the Times Network's India Economic Conclave, has said that the sale of Air India is likely to be completed by May or June this year, and that financial bids will be invited over the coming days as per revised timelines. SpiceJet chairperson Ajay Singh and the Tata Group have emerged frontrunners as bidders for the national carrier. Hardeep Singh Puri also said the government loses 20 crore rupees every day on the carrier and has a cumulative debt of 60,000 crore rupees. Let's take a look at news coming in from around the world right now. Myanmar's civil disobedience movement against the military coup has been nominated for the 2022 Nobel Peace Prize. Christian Stock, the professor of sociology at the University of Oslo, has said the movement represents an exemplary peaceful response. He added it can inspire other non-violent pro-democracy movements elsewhere. Remember, the military coup in Myanmar happened on the 1st of February this year, and since then 320 people have been killed and nearly 3,000 have been arrested, and this is according to the Assistance Association for Political Prisoners, a local monitoring group. Staying with Myanmar, addressing the annual Army Day parade, the Junta leader, General Min Aung Hlaing, has said he would safeguard democracy and protect the people of the country. Hlaing also reiterated a promise to hold elections without really specifying the date. He said the army had to seize power on the 1st of February because of unlawful acts by the ruling National League Democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi, adding that some party leaders had been found guilty of corruption. Legal action was being taken against them. Taking a look at the traffic jam right now at the Suez Canal. A massive ship called the Ever Given, the size of the Empire State Building in Manhattan if it were lying down on its side, has been stuck in the Suez Canal for the last 4 days, blocking a vital trade route. Now, satellite images, this traffic jam is now visible from outer space. Satellite images show that that many other ships are now waiting to pass through the narrow canal. 238 vehicles have apparently queued up. This is according to data compiled by Bloomberg. 10 of those vessels are carrying livestock, from what we understand. Thousands of animals are in the hulls of the ship. Now, this means, of course, that the problem is time sensitive. The vessel was en route to the Netherlands when it ran aground, which basically means it's stuck in the shallow mud after winds and a sandstorm caused low visibility. Several efforts have been made using tugboats and dredging of sand and mud from under it. There is, of course, some hope that it will be free by sometime this weekend. In the meantime, it is brought a lot of trade across the world to a standstill, and it's particularly worrying for India because it might lead to a lowered supply of crude oil, which travels on ship, which means that it might lead to an increase in fuel prices domestically for us. News coming in from the world of science, and this is from India. ISRO chief K. Shivan on Friday said India's first human space mission, Gaganyaan, is likely to have a green propellant. ISRO is said to be working on using green fuel to fuel all of its future launches. Speaking at the India Economic Conclave, he also said India is in talks with Australia to have a ground station at the Coco Islands for the Gaganyaan mission. Quick look at news coming in from sports right now. Sachin Tendulkar has confirmed that he has tested positive for COVID. Taking to Twitter, he said, "I've been testing myself and taking recommended precautions. However, I've tested positive today. I have mild symptoms. All others at home have tested negative. I've quarantined myself and I'm following protocols as advised by doctors." We do wish him, very good luck, and we hope he's back on his feet fairly quickly. In the meantime, Saina has defeated US's Iris Wang to enter the women's singles semi-finals of the Orleans Masters badminton tournament. This will be her first semi-final in 2 years. Her last semi-final appearance was in January 2019, where she had won the Indonesia Masters 500 tournament. And one bit of positive news before I let you go, as has become our nightly tradition, Pfizer has begun clinical trials of its COVID vaccine on children under the age of 12. Children as young as 6 months old are being enrolled in the trials. Now, the results of these trials are expected in the second half of the year. Remember, Moderna and AstraZeneca are already doing clinical trials for children because right now, while adults are being vaccinated, until we have the results of these trials, we don't know if the vaccinations have any sort of effect or if they're safe for children. That's a wrap on the news from me. A couple of pieces of requests for you. Like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It encourages us. Leave us your feedback as a comment at the bottom of this video. And send this video to anyone you feel might find some clean news useful at the end of the day. Thank you for watching. Good night.